Nipsey Hussle's brother Blacc Sam pushes Rockstar 2800 out of the Marathon Burger grand opening on Melrose Ave. Listen, Blacc Sam is standing on business. And I know Nipsey is up there looking down like, that's my big bro.
Don't come over here trying to hey, guess what? Go do something and come back. Go get cracking and come back. That's what I said, bro.
Nip Hussle, a.k.a. Go Get It, at the speed of a marathon, taking his time, going down the line to find peace of mind. Yeah. Can you understand that at all?
Minutes after Blacc Sam called out Big U over the alleged Nipsey setup, Snoop Dogg was suddenly right in his face. And people swear this was no random meetup. Word is, Snoop's been floating in the same circle Sam's been calling out. And that's exactly why this pull-up has folks in LA reading between every single line. Out there, those circles aren't just social hangouts. They're political battlegrounds. Pick the wrong side and you might be locked out for life. Big U's name has been tangled up in whispers about Nipsey's final days for years, so when Sam finally said it out loud and Snoop appeared right after, the whole room froze. That face-to-face moment between Snoop and Sam, it could be the clearest signal yet that something way deeper is brewing in the shadows. When Snoop stepped up on Blacc Sam, it didn't feel like some friendly West Coast hug. It felt like he was walking straight into enemy turf, and everybody watching caught the vibe instantly. This heat didn't just pop up overnight either. Just weeks earlier, Sam was front and center at the grand opening of Marathon Burger, and he wasn't there just to smile for cameras.
Demonstrate for hustle. This is what I'm telling you. Don't come over here. Don't come over here trying to hey, guess what? Go do something and come back.
In footage, you see him confronting West Coast Crip rapper Rockstar 2800, not just checking him, but pressing him hard.
That disrespect, bro, when you in that with, bro.
Telling him straight up, if you're not putting in work to defend Nipsey's name, you don't belong here. And here's where it really gets messy. Rockstar 2800 isn't just some random rapper. He's directly tied to Wack 100, one of Nipsey's loudest and most ruthless critics since the day he passed. Wack's been locked in a long, ugly war of words with Nipsey's camp, making it his personal mission to tear down Nip's street credibility in public.
Blacc Sam, Nipsey's brother, he told me he's a rat. First time they first fall out, when he first got Nipsey signed, Nipsey come back, it was a fallout. They went down, there was a fight, rumble happened. I believe Big U knocked Nipsey out. Blacc Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in, they arrest everybody. Blacc Sam's on parole. We bail Big U out. Big U tells us, the police tell him, they let Blacc Sam go before he got a bail. Which is, you know, gun, firing, fresh out, ain't supposed to happen like that. He tell him, that's one of ours, leave him alone. So all these years, I've been looking at him like he's a rat anyway.
And that's something Sam has never let slide. But here's the thread most folks miss. Wack 100 is tight with Big U. And Big U's name, it just keeps circling back in every whispered theory about Nipsey's final days.
I got love for Nip, I got love for the family. I ain't got no hate in my heart, ain't no hatred in my heart at all. My heart pure. You understand? I care about them still to this day. It's nothing but a phone call, it's nothing we could talk. Yeah, do I want my fade? Yeah, for how I did it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I just felt like it was out of pocket. But after that, we can shake hands, whatever, or we ain't never got to talk again. However, whatever it's got to be, it's got to be. You know what I'm saying? So just leave it at that. But like I said, I ain't got no hate in my heart. I'm not going to say nothing bad.
This is the same Big U who once mentored Nipsey early on, but also had a deep, complicated, and sometimes hostile history with him.
What up, baby?
Man.
The big homie.
Yes, sir.
TV superstar. Neighborhood star. Come on, man, you look good up here.
So picture it, Sam telling Rockstar to get lost if he ain't out here repping for Hustle. Rockstar wasn't about to stand there and eat that in silence.
Around, Big U, I'm not
Hey,
playing.
we check it in, baby.
Man, the check-in is real. When your feet hit the street, you better check in.
Hey, look, hold on. That's so.
Yeah.
That's so.
But this isn't just about him. That Wack 100 connection runs deep. Wack's been rolling with Big U for years, and like it or not, Snoop's name has been spotted floating in that same orbit.
When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago wholeheartedly.
I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry, who real killers. Like who really real killers. Like
Snoop even spoke on the check-in system.
Cause me and Sam weren't seeing eye to eye at one point when I first came home over the obvious. You know what I mean? And we had our sit down and we hollered. But I had seen certain people before I had seen Sam, and they could have relayed that message to me. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people didn't. So that means they was playing both sides.
Wait, so something happened, right? Didn't you, was it a complex con?
Yeah.
You ran into
Sam.
Blacc Sam and a bunch of people around him.
Yeah.
And they approached you.
Well, I approached them.
You approached them.
Yeah. I went over there to the All Money In thing. It was a little, me and Sam had a disagreement.
I mean, was it because thing?
Yeah, that's why I said over the obvious.
The same one Big U is famously vocal about. Big U literally spelled it out himself. That's why when Snoop and Sam ended up in the same room, it wasn't just some casual run-in. This was a moment where Sam let his presence do all the talking. People there said you could feel the static in the air. No yelling, no scene, just two men standing on opposite ends of the same long, tangled history.
We didn't have an altercation and then we dispersed or whatever. No, I wasn't going nowhere. I'm like, big bro, we got to figure it out.
How'd that conversation go?
It went from him coming from a place of not understanding, he's neglecting certain stuff. Like, you're putting me in a position that you know I'm not in, only because you're hurt. You get what I'm saying? And I can't tell him how to mourn, but you holding me responsible for another man's action. First and foremost, I was in jail, and you know how much I love your brother. How about this? When we were fighting, and Nipsey's dad saying who he was fighting, he like, that's bro, what the are you doing? Like, this is y'all brother. Like, what the are y'all fighting for? He didn't even understand.
And here's the twist. This ain't even the first time Sam's had to plant his feet in public. He's already pressed Brick Baby over his connection to Eric Holder, the man convicted of killing Nipsey. Brick Baby himself admitted Nipsey's own father had to step in and stop them from throwing hands. Sam's gone at anyone who tried to downplay Nip's name in interviews, making it clear he's not letting disrespect slide. Now here's the burn. Wack is still tight with Big U, and Big U still keeps Snoop in his circle. So for Sam, Snoop's pull-up wasn't just bad timing. It was a public reminder of that exact crew he's been calling out. That's when this stopped being a celebrity sighting and turned into a straight-up statement. Sam showing everybody that loyalty ain't about words, it's about moves.
that's my little homeboy. He grew up in the same neighborhood I did. When I came out, I was out about 2 years and I heard his music, and after I heard his music, I took a liking to it. I felt he could be the next one to take us both to the next level. So I hollered at him, got with LT Hutton to get him on the Tupac song. He gave us love on that. He did Tupac with L.A. Dre. That took off. Then we came back and Felly Fell gave us some love with Bullets Ain't Got No Name. Then we kind of just did a lot of street work.
And if you stand with people who moved against his brother, you're instantly on the wrong side. But here's the kicker. To really grasp why that stare down carried so much weight, you gotta rewind. Not just to Nipsey's time, but decades back. Because this ain't new. Some say we saw the exact same pattern during the death row era with Tupac. And guess who was right in the middle of both stories? Snoop. See, the Big U and Nipsey story didn't start off as bad blood. Far from it.
Well, do me a favor, call your mama up, Des. What they call you, where you from?
Back in the mid-2000s, Big U had just come home from prison, already a respected rolling 60s figure, and he played a major role in giving Nip his first real shot. We're talking early verses, music video pushes, and big-name industry connections. At one point, Big U even helped land Nipsey on Tupac's posthumous album, Pac's Life, a move that had Nip buzzing all over LA before most folks outside the city even knew his name, but that shine didn't last.
They tried to get me to not like Puffy and Biggie while we was in the middle of the Death Row Bad Boy feud. And I made a choice that I had no issues with them. That was the Angie Martinez interview back in the days that created havoc between me and Death Row because I stood on my values. Exactly.
Because when you said, I ain't got no issues.
I said, I want to do a song with them. That's how I ended. I said, I ain't got no issues with Puffy and Biggie. I want to do a song with them.
Middle of the war.
In New York.
In New York.
On Hot 97.
Why the f did you say that?
Because that's how I felt.
Nipsey later revealed that his contract with Big U's label was a straight-up lock. A 10-year production deal starting in 2009 and ending in 2019. The very same year, Nipsey was killed. Nipsey wanted out, but in LA street politics, walking away from a deal isn't just paperwork, it's a matter of respect.
It just don't make no sense. It's not random, you know. I know Hustle. You know, ain't nobody gonna say nothing crazy to Hustle, because they know what come with it, no matter what age you are. Niggas ain't saying nothing crazy to Hustle, wherever you find him at. But on Crenshaw and Slauson, definitely you're not saying nothing crazy. You're gonna come, you're gonna tuck your tail and be humble, and if not, you're getting beat up on the spot. And we done did it a million times. Hustle done did it a million times. So the fact that he left tell me everything I need to know.
That's when things started feeling less like business and more like personal war. Nipsey dropped You Don't Got a Clue, a diss track many believe was aimed directly at Big U, calling out anyone trying to control his career. After that, it got physical.
I could have probably stopped it.
Stop what? Me, man.
After I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you cuz or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just Nipsey.
Wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got.
Yep.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answered the phone.
Yep. And
you like
just talking on regular. So it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
you don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
Multiple sources, from Loose Cannon to Whack 100, claimed Big U confronted Nip, challenged him to a fight, and it ended with Blacc Sam firing shots in the air just to shut it down. From that moment, Sam and Big U weren't just distant, they were on opposite sides for good. And here's the kicker. Despite knowing all this history, Snoop kept showing up right next to Big U. For Sam, this is straight up deja vu. He's watched Snoop stand shoulder to shoulder with people his allies were beefing with before, all the way back to the Tupac days. In the 90s, when Pac had the East Coast-West Coast war raging, loyalty lines were razor sharp. You were either with Pac or against him. But after Hit 'Em Up and all those bad boy disses, Snoop went on a New York radio station and said this. Even Napoleon from the Outlaws has said Snoop had a habit of smiling in Pac's face while quietly moving with the same people Pac was going at. And now, in hindsight, a lot of fans are starting to see that same energy in this whole Nipsey situation. If you listen to certain voices in the LA streets, Nipsey's murder was far from random. In a Big Boy interview, Sam himself hinted that Eric Holder, Nip's killer, was supposed to do a job and somebody sent him. Loose Cannon, who, by the way, was later named in court filings as part of Big U's alleged extortion operation, even claimed Big U told him Nipsey was dead before it happened. He says he called Nipsey right after Big U told him, and Nipsey answered the phone alive. 30 minutes later, Nipsey was gone. That timeline doesn't just raise eyebrows, it flips the whole story on its head. And if you're Sam, hearing that and then watching Snoop still shoulder to shoulder with Big U, just like he once stood with people Pac was beefing with, that's not just bad optics, that's history replaying itself in real time. But now, the tension between Snoop and Blacc Sam hasn't cooled, it's spread, and it's tangled in something way bigger. Federal indictments, old street debts, and a power game that's been in motion for decades. Let's start with the paperwork nobody wants to speak on. In February 2025, the feds quietly unsealed a multi-layer criminal complaint against Big U. On paper, extortion, property shakedowns, and gang tax collections. Off paper, the whispers say it's much deeper. This is the same network allegedly deciding who rises in LA's rap scene and who gets taken out before they can blow. And it's not just Big U catching heat. After that complaint dropped, Brick Baby got bagged too, on possession, conspiracy, and suspected cleanup work for the same network. Now, here's where Snoop slides back in. His name ain't in the paperwork yet, but old photos and event footage show him with both Big U and Blacc Baby, even after Nipsey's death. But the scariest part? A theory floating heavy. There's a West Coast power shuffle happening right now, with certain OGs staring straight at Fed time. Same network that's been pulling strings in LA's rap scene for years, deciding who gets the spotlight and who gets snuffed out before they can take it. And now, with Big U facing Fed pressure, the chessboard is shifting fast. Insiders say the vacuum left by these indictments has certain West Coast OGs scrambling for position. This isn't just about street politics. It's about controlling the business pipelines, the live shows, the features, the very money flow of the scene. And when you control all that, you decide who eats and who starves. This is where it gets real shaky for Snoop. Even though his name's not on any paperwork, he's still being spotted at events with people tied into these indictments. Old footage and fresh sightings have become talking points in the streets, with folks wondering if he's staying loyal to the wrong camp, or just keeping himself close enough to the power to never be shut out. And let's be clear, this isn't paranoia. The feds are watching these moves. Multiple sources claim they've already started mapping out everyone's connections, building timelines, and following money trails. If the whispers are true, they're not just looking to take down the players, they're looking to dismantle the entire network that's run the West Coast rap game from behind the curtain for decades. And if Snoop does land in that Fed spotlight, it won't just be about him. It'll drag decades of West Coast history into the light. We're talking names, alliances, and moves that were never meant to be on record. Street vets say that's the real danger here. Once the feds get their hooks in, they don't just pull one thread, they unravel the whole fabric. Some insiders believe that's exactly why the power shuffle feels so tense right now. Certain OGs are already making quiet exits, cutting ties, and moving money out of sight. Others are doubling down, showing face at events, and making sure they're still seen as players. And Snoop, his every move is being dissected. From old photos with Big U and Blacc Baby to present-day sightings with figures who are now on federal radar. For Sam, all this just confirms what he's been saying. Loyalty isn't about smiling for cameras. It's about who you're willing to stand next to when things get ugly. And in his eyes, Snoop's choices keep placing him right in the blast zone. The real question, if this shuffle turns into a full-blown takedown, will Snoop be able to step back untouched? Or will history finally catch up to him the same way it has to everyone else who's played too close to the fire? There's a vacuum right now, and whoever locks in with the right power players today could control tours, label deals, and streaming checks for the next decade. If that's the game, then Snoop's not just keeping the peace, he's securing his seat at the table, even if it puts him on the opposite side of the people, still fighting to keep Nipsey's legacy alive. And it's not just street chatter anymore. Bloggers, podcasters, and former industry insiders are piecing together old photos, interviews, and quiet fallouts, painting a picture where Snoop might not be the hero in Nipsey's story, but part of the machinery that made sure certain truths never came out. Meanwhile, the marathon camp hasn't budged. Sam's gone on record saying certain people can't come over here, a line many believe is aimed directly at the same circle Snoop still stands with. And every time Snoop pops up next to those faces, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire that's been smoldering for years. Subscribe, share, comment, and like this video. The next chapter's already writing itself.